What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. You got Ilhan Omar. I have to say this. I gotta say it, and I know when I say it, y'all gonna be like, "This is nothing but lies," but it's nothing surprising. It says Ilhan believes the American dream is a promise made to everyone, and she's been fighting to make sure it's kept for the people of Minnesota's 5th District every single day in Congress. Today, DFLers proudly endorse her to keep delivering for the 5th. Congrats, Omar. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know what it is, but I truly don't see. I haven't seen anything that she's done for anybody. Honestly, I can say that's a lie. That's a lie. She does for the Somalian people, I should say, for herself. That's about it. When I say that, when it comes down to Ilhan Omar, she is truly a huge problem that needs to be fixed and solved very quickly. I'm not even gonna lie. Ilhan Omar posted and said, "I'm incredibly proud to earn the DFL endorsement. I promise to continue fighting for our values no matter what they throw at us. Onward to the primary." And you have about 40, 50 people, not even probably that, cheering for her. It says, "Re-elect Ilhan, abolish ICE." That's it. They tried to make it look like it's a lot of people, but you got a few women obviously on their phone. You got this older guy right here. You have this whole section that completely doesn't care about nothing. Then you have all these individuals that's clapping but not looking at Ilhan Omar. Yeah. I mean, I guess. Literally ain't it. I'll tell you that much. Literally not it. One thing about this, that I find, quite disturbing about this is that you have Ilhan Omar that has made a post and said that, and I'll even go to the post. I'll go to the post so y'all can see the post. Not just the video, but the post itself. You go to Ilhan Omar, and she went and posted, y'all. Hopefully she didn't delete it. But she went and posted and said herself, I'm pretty sure she probably deleted it. Hopefully she didn't. Oh, here you go right here. Ilhan Omar posted and said, "You can't make this stuff up. The most corrupt first family of all time."
Thanks for having us, Maria.
This is Eric Trump, obviously, the president's son. And, they put that he's bragging about one of his companies landing at $24 million Pentagon contract. And we know what it is. But my thing is, and I don't even have to play the video. It's an 11-second video. Obviously, I'm, speaking on, the Foundation Future Industries lands, the $24 million Pentagon contract. My thing is that you literally have an individual calling a whole family corrupt. Are we not seeing what's going on with Ilhan? I'm confused. When I seen this, I literally was thinking to myself, how could she make this post? And y'all want to know the crazy thing about this whole post that I just realized? It says only some accounts can reply. There's no replies to this. There's no comments whatsoever. There's no comments. You can't comment on this. Because even she knows that she's full of it. She knows. I'm telling y'all. Really on most of her posts, when she's especially talking crazy about Trump, again, only some accounts can reply. You can't say anything. It's all. She made another post talking about President Trump because of what he said. I'm gonna play what President Trump said. I'm gonna play what President Trump, said about Ilhan and Minnesota and Somalia, first, and then I'm gonna say, what she posted. Check it out.
Look at the wonderful country. It's a beautiful country. You should try it sometime. Somalia. It's a beautiful place. It's got no government. It's got no military. It's got no anything. It's got one thing that's really strong: crime. It's got a lot of crime. They have no police. All they do is run around shooting each other. It's filthy dirty, disgusting dirty. It's a horrible place. They come here, and Ilhan Omar, you ever hear of her? She heads it, and think of it. They have nothing but crime, poverty, pollution. Everything is horrible over there. Nothing good. They say it's the worst country anywhere in the world, and we got some beauties out there, but it's the worst. And then she comes here from Somalia, and she tells us how to run the United States of America. She says, the Constitution gives me certain rights, and I demand that I be given these rights. Get the hell out, what a phony. And then she married a brother to come in. I don't know, you're not. But I would imagine they're looking at her. I have nothing to do with it. I would imagine. Of course I have nothing to do. I have nothing, but I believe she married her brother, which is totally illegal. Although it's a lovely couple, actually, but it's a little bit on the illegal side. Darling, I love you very much. Good night, brother. Let's go to bed. Good night. Isn't she despicable? I can't stand watching. I can't stand. Did you see last month, she accidentally checked the wrong box. It said she was worth $38 million. And law enforcement came after her for that. And then all of a sudden, she was worth less than $80,000. And she said it was accounting. It was an accounting error. That was not a very good accountant, was it? Huh? No. Their whole life is based on fraud and a scam. The whole thing is a scam, and we ought to get those people the hell out of our country.
So y'all got it right here. Ilhan Omar posted and said this unhinged rant would solicit anger if it wasn't coming from a criminal who has 34 felony convictions, held accountable for the R word that I cannot say on here, and accused of being another word that I can't say on here, but ending this file, if y'all know what I mean. I still don't know how anyone will willingly humiliate themselves like this, but here we are. By the way, the foul, as y'all know, protection party should find new material for their deflection. Let me tell you something. I feel like when a person responds like this, instead of a different way, seeing how of giving out facts about something, like President Trump stated and said that it's nothing in Somalia of what they're doing in Somalia, how they come here and do this and do that. She not one time said anything in defense of what's truly going on or what is true when it comes down to Somalia or Somalians. She went straight and went for, I'm about to bash President Trump. And that literally just goes to show you that completely President Trump is, he's definitely right with everything that he said, obviously. Then you have her here literally saying Ilhan Omar vows that Somalis will refuse to leave the United States no matter what President Trump orders. Check it out.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations a shithole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a black immigrant community that is also Muslim. But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says we are nationals of this country. We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have not been settled in Minnesota. We chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming, and we are going to be here regardless of what the.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like Minnesota, because I have people in Minnesota right now that comment on my videos all the time and say they do not like the Somalians being there. Literally. If you from Minnesota, you live in Minnesota, please comment down so people can see. I'm telling y'all. One thing about it is that I truly, not even gonna lie, I feel like truly, being 100, the people in Minnesota probably welcome them. I mean, I don't know, seeing it, but I feel like they got very overwhelmed seeing the things that went on immediately. Me personally. But from what I'm seeing, I don't know. I don't know. You got Benny Johnson here. It's just, I don't know. It's, you seeing too much going on. And then she's saying they were very, very welcoming. I've had people literally that live in Minnesota be 100 saying that they truly do not want Somalians there. You got Randy Fine demands Ilhan Omar be removed from Congress in America and will move to expel her when evidence is released. Ilhan Omar is accused of committing immigration fraud, marrying her brother, involvement with Somali fraudsters, lying about her finances, operating a fake winery. Check it out right here.
President of
Benny
Somalia
Johnson
comes
and
in,
Randy Fine.
And in whatever language they speak is he just translated. He's like, Ilhan Omar is the member of Congress from Somalia, not from America. Like, we're well aware of that. She's our Somali member of Congress. And I was like, this is despicable. This is a totally despicable thing to say. This is something that is disqualifying in the extreme. And you've been sort of notching exactly how disqualifying Ilhan Omar's residency inside of Congress actually is. And you want to kick her out of Congress. Can you explain, how are you going to do that, Congressman?
Well, look, she's a problem on so many levels. You talk about the Somali loyalty. There's the issue of immigration fraud, which is the real issue that we're waiting on. There's a belief by many, and the president has talked about it, that she married her brother in order to help bring him into the United States. We have seen a massive problem with immigration fraud in the Somali community. But then there's the third level of problem, which is welfare fraud, where we've seen tens of billions of dollars of fraud in Minnesota, where we see that more than 80% of Somalis that have come to the United States continue to be on our welfare programs. And it appears that Ilhan Omar is tied up to her neck in all of that. In fact, the Minnesota State Legislature is doing an investigation. They asked her to cooperate, and she has refused. If she was innocent, what does she have to hide? So we're waiting on a lot of that to come out, both the welfare fraud, the immigration fraud, and then we'll take action. Because someone who engaged in immigration fraud not only shouldn't be in Congress, they shouldn't be in the United States at all.
Congressman, I sat across from the vice president a couple weeks ago, and he said, listen, I want to just give you this on the record. Stephen Miller has the paperwork. He has the documentation that proves that she's here illegally and that she criminally lied on her immigration forms. And we are figuring out how best to action that. And I've heard that also from other sources at DHS. What do you think should happen to Ilhan Omar? What would be your recommendation to the administration if they do indeed have the documents?
If she engaged in immigration fraud, she should be deported. I'm waiting on that from them, and then I will do what I can do in Congress. If she engaged in immigration fraud, if she married her brother, which, by the way, is simply disgusting if you step back and think about that for a minute.
It's illegal, though, also. Like, you can't,
illegal.
It doesn't matter where you're from, you can't do that, right? Based on American law, it's also illegal.
Right. And if she did that, and when they reveal that documentation, I'll take the congressional step to expel her from Congress. What's extraordinary is I don't think the Democrats will vote for it. You have to have a 2/3 vote in Congress. I think it's pretty clear they won't vote to expel anyone. But if she lied in her immigration forms, she should not only not be in Congress, she should not be in the United States of America. I can't kick her out of America, but I can help get her kicked out of Congress.
And what would be the grounds upon which you would expel her from Congress? How would you architect that?
Well, it would be immigration fraud. I mean, whether it's how she lied to become a citizen or whether it was marrying her brother to get him in there, if she engaged in immigration fraud. Look, the greatest win you can have in the world, frankly, is to be an American. It's something that many of us don't appreciate enough. Part of the reason so many illegals want to come here is they want to be American. There's 6-7 billion people in the world. 300 million of them are Americans. This is a gift that those of us who were born here get, and it is a gift that we extend to certain people who come here from other places. If you abuse that gift, you disrespect every single American who did it the right way, every American who was born here. And so if there is proof that she engaged in that immigration fraud, we have an obligation to make an example out of her, to send a message to everyone else that we will not put up with that in the United States of America. But take that immigration fraud and couple it with the policies that she advocates, the attempting to hide the welfare fraud, the attempt to give more free stuff to Somalians. That should bother everyone. So when we have this proof that she engaged in immigration fraud, when the government goes after her on citizenship and perhaps criminal measures, I'll go after her in Congress.
So y'all see it. One thing about it, I feel like so many people are looking for each and every angle to rather get this situation figured out and done, because it's and me personally, I know for a fact that things are going to get better within this whole thing, but I don't see how things aren't already in motion and done, when it comes down to whether it's, prison time, deportation, anything at all. If y'all know what I mean, because if it was me or you, y'all know how quick things would I'm telling y'all, escalate. I'm talking about fast. But seeing how I say, like, me personally, I feel like it's definitely crazy. It's truly, truly crazy. I'm telling y'all. One thing about it though, and what, a lot of people are fuming about, especially when it comes to individuals like, you have Ilhan Omar, says CNN obviously is melting down over President Trump's plan to force banks to verify citizenship for every customer, new and existing accounts. It says here, no more illegals opening accounts, laundering cash, or wiring billions back home while Americans foot the bill. Passports or proof required. Self-deportation incoming. Make Americans bank system for Americans again. And that's truly, me personally, I feel like is a really, truly good thing. Check it out.
Trump could soon force banks to take part in an immigration crackdown. What I mean by that is sources tell CNN the administration is considering requiring financial institutions to collect and verify their customers' citizenship status, something banks aren't currently required to do. One source says the new policy could come through an executive order. CNN's Matt Egan is following this story for us. So, Matt, what are you learning about how banks are responding to this possibility?
Yeah, well, Omar, this does appear to be part of the Trump administration's aggressive immigration crackdown. Sources tell CNN's Priscilla Alvarez and I that the administration is considering new action that would require banks to check the citizenship status of their customers. Now, this would be something that would actually apply not just on a go-forward basis, but also to existing customers, which is pretty stunning when you think about just how many customers the banks already have. Now, this action could also require banks to check a different category of documents than what they normally look at, including passports. Now, I do want to stress that nothing here has been announced or finalized. It's not clear here whether or not this would come in the form of an executive order or some other action. We reached out to the White House, and a spokesperson said that any reporting on policy that hasn't been officially announced is just speculation. But some Republicans do support this. Republican Senator Tom Cotton, he put out a post on X yesterday where he said, I strongly support President Trump taking action to prevent illegal migrants from accessing our banking system. And he said he sent a letter to Treasury last fall asking for an investigation into this matter and that he plans to introduce legislation on this issue shortly. Now, Omar, you asked about how the industry is reacting. Officially, they're not really saying much, right? Representatives from major banks, from bank trade groups, they haven't commented on this. However, sources do tell CNN that the industry is concerned here because they're worried that this kind of action, it could almost compel them to be part of the administration's immigration crackdown. One financial industry source told me that verifying every bank customer's citizenship status would be unworkable. This source said it's a bad idea. We are very alarmed. Now, banks are required to adhere to anti-money laundering rules, know your customer rules, but they don't track the citizenship status of their customers. So if this did become official, that would certainly be a significant change. There's also some questions about whether or not this could discourage immigrants from keeping their money in the bank. Even undocumented immigrants, they do play a significant role in this economy. In 2023 alone, undocumented immigrants, they paid $90 billion in federal, state, and local taxes, and they had spending power of nearly $300 billion. And just one other point for you here, Omar. The president does talk a lot about cutting red tape. It's something he's very proud of. It's something that he mentioned during the State of the Union last night, where he took credit for cutting a record number of job-killing regulations. But this potential action related to banks and the immigration crackdown does show how, in some cases, the president has actually added new red tape and regulation where he sees fit. Back to you.
So as y'all see, me personally, I feel like this is an amazing thing. I feel like it's an amazing thing seeing how bad things are and how things have been going. We have fraud everywhere. We truly have fraud everywhere, even within the airports. I've seen multiple videos of millions being sent different ways. You know, they taking a plane here to go here and taking it there to go there or wiring it. I'm telling y'all, it's bad. So me personally, I think this is something amazing that President Trump is doing. And like I said, it's one of those things of things definitely are set in motion. And I feel like it's one of those things of just cleaning up what the Biden administration truly liked on a lot. You know what I mean? You got it right here. It says President Trump goes hard against, you know, as he said, filthy Somalia and Ilhan Omar, saying she broke multiple laws. Check it out.
Without you, we have Somalia. Okay, a fine place where we have a congresswoman who brilliantly came over to the country by marrying her brother. That was the first law she broke. That was the least of them. And she comes from a country where they have nothing but crime, bedlam, filth, a horrible place. They say it may be the worst place. Comes to our country, and then she tells us how to run the United States of America. It's an amazing thing. Ilhan Omar. It's an amazing thing how they can get away with it, and the people don't want that to happen. And hopefully you'll figure it out. But a very terrible thing. I can't stand it. She says, the Constitution gives me certain rights. Go back to your own country, talk about a Constitution. They don't have a Constitution. They never will. That's why upon taking office, I signed an executive. Without you, we have Somalia.
One thing about this is that when it comes down to it, I know a lot of people are saying that they want Ilhan Omar to, you know, serve that prison time and then go back. Me personally, I feel like it's just one of those things. When you say deportation, and I say that because I feel like it's just, it's too much going on. Ain't no trying to get no slap on the wrist, none of that. It's too much going on with a lot. We talk about, multiple places. We talk about New York City, Ohio, California, obviously Minnesota. You're having a lot of these places that are truly, truly, truly having so much fraud that is becoming sickening. It's truly becoming sickening. And me personally, I feel like it's been so many years of it being spread. And I feel like, honestly, that Ilhan Omar has a really big part of it, not just in Minnesota, but other places too. That truly is just one of those things of just cleaning house. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.